Hey everybody, welcome to the Shakeup. Bias Report edition number 5. Today we are going to review yesterday's races at Gulfstream Park West, October 17, 2000. In this video, I'm going back to the basics using my old tic-tac-toe board, putting horses on the board according to post positions and running style. I made a video about this before. This tic-tac-toe board is actually not my idea. I read about it in an old handicapping book, but I do not remember what book it's from. But anyways, what you do, you want to start off, draw yourself a tic-tac-toe board. You want to picture the board at the top of the board like this is a starting gate. This first column is posts 1 through 3, second column is 4 through 6, and third column is 7 on out. And then we're going to look as we go down. Top row is wires, horses that need the lead. The second row is horses that stalk. And the third row is your closers in a race. And then we'll have some horses that are capable of doing more than one thing. And that we'll have them straddling like the line. Like this 6 horse, I think he can win on the lead, or I think he can stalk. You might have a horse that you think could stalk and a horse that you think could close. You'll put them here, right here. But anyways, you guys probably know about this. Maybe you've seen my other video. Maybe you read that book back in the day. It's just a simple method of keeping track of the track while you're there. It's also, I think it's going to help go over what we're looking for using the bias reports. And let me find my mouse. And I forgot to even open up my bias reports. Wrong file. So, because it's so much slower for me to write with my cursor, I already made the tic-tac-toe board and put the horses in where I think they're going to be. So anyways, we're going over all the sprints yesterday. So I think there's 4 or 5 races that I'm interested in looking at. They were off the turf yesterday, so this first race was going to be on the dirt, and when they take these 7.5 furlong races off the dirt or turf, they make them a 7 furlong race. So to me, it's a sprint. So I didn't want to put all my extra marks on the form. I wanted to handicap this just like you'd have with your bias report. So I used the exact same thing that you get with the bias report. And right now, I'm just going to tell you the overall profile. Right now, we're fading closers at Gulfstream on the sprints. We think there's a pretty decent edge towards the inside. Post 1 through 3 is winning 47% of the races. 4 through 6 is winning 34% of the races. And only 7 on out is only winning 19% of the races. There's been a few biased days towards the inside, but overall, I think you want to start looking inside. And running style, the most important thing is you want to be, speed has been very good, winning 56% of the races, stalkers at 23, and we've been fading deep closers, horses coming from 5 lengths out or farther. Remember, speed horses, wires, stalkers. My definition for stalkers is horses coming 1 to 4 lengths off the lead. 1 to 4 lengths off the lead at the first 2 calls is where you want to look. As soon as they hit 5 lengths off the lead at the first 2 calls, they are they are a closer, according to me and how I make the notes and stuff. So you're going to want to use these definitions if you're using the bias reports. Because otherwise, it's just going to screw you up if you use your definition or someone else's definition. So this one horse, we only got 1 race. I got him running against the bias. The middle of the track was good last time he ran. Like I said, right now we are looking post 1 through 3, a little bit 4 through 6. We're trying to fade the 7 on out. We're fading closers. So these horses that are down there in the closer category pretty much eliminates themselves, is how Gulfstream Park West has been running. This one's a little tricky. I put him in the closing column. He only ran one race. So, I mean, if he improves, I can see him improving with the asterisk running against the bias last time, but I still put him as a closer. I'm not going to go through all of these horses for you, but I will go through enough so I don't have to keep scanning back up to the top. I actually wrote it down just to prepare with the video. The 4-horse ran on a speed favoring track last race. I gave him an asterisk because he had no chance at the lead there. He's also ran a mile race. He was off the pace on a mile stalking. This horse to me looks like he's either a stalker, deep closer. I threw him up there in the stalker category. The 5-horse looks like a dead nuts closer. He's been running route races. Remember, this is going to be a 7 furlong race. He's in that category that we're trying to fade. 6-horse. Yes, last 2 races where he tried to go to the lead. Last race, 2 races ago was when I got these slashes. That just means I wrote them, looked up the race. There was nothing to write. No comment about there being a bias in it or anything. So 2 races ago, and remember, guys, this is my first race, or 1 race back, 2 race back, 3 race back. I try to do it the same way so everyone knows what we're talking about. 2 races back, I had him on a speed favoring track. I gave him an asterisk. When I say it's a speed favoring track, every horse went wire to wire that day. Even though he's 2 by 1, he tried to go lead. Because they weren't backing up at all, I don't think he had his best shot. 3 races ago, same thing. Speed favoring track asterisk. I got him hovering the line because there's 2 races where he went dead nuts to lead. There's about 4 or 5 races where he was a stalker. When we compare him to the rest of the field, most of the horses are actually true route horses. You guys know that I prefer sprinters at 6 furlongs. And the 7-horse. 7-horse inside the track was good. Inside, okay, I know what I did here, and I'm glad I did it. Inside track was good last race. I gave this horse an asterisk. It wasn't because of a comment. He had the inside of the track that was good. If you noticed, he was way behind. He was 8 by 6. He stumbled at the start, and I circled it. That stumbled by the start. He couldn't run his best race. It plays the same as running against the bias for the most part. I gave him an asterisk that race. 2 races ago, I couldn't rate. 3 races ago, it was an early pressing day. Asterisk. And 4 races ago was 1 race sample. I put him in the stalker category because overall, I prefer sprinters on the lead at the 7 furlong mark. So far, he's showed speed better than all the other horses. But I don't believe he has real front speed. And we got the 9. Inside the track was good last race. He actually was on the inside. He came out with the speedy, but then I looked at these 3 route races where he was on the lead. But I kind of went back to his sprints on the dirt, and he looks like a stalker, basically a closer 1 race, stalker another race. I just used my experience to put him in the stalking category. So I honestly wasn't that interested in this race, and this wasn't the race. They ended up betting the 6 and the 7 way down. They were both 1.5 on $1 and 1.90 on $1. There was nothing really to look at. Just with the grid, what we're fading, there's no one on the outside of the track, 7 and out. We're trying to fade. We're trying to fade closers. Right now, you should just be concentrating probably in these 4 horses. 6 looks like he might be the lone speed, but the value just wasn't there. This race was actually won by the 7. He had 2 excuses. He was actually the favorite. He didn't run the way I expected. He actually closed from a mile out. Actually, I think he closed by about 15 lengths behind, but he beat the 6, who was in the 4 hole. But right now, let's see, I can't draw circles real good on this thing. I think this is a good habit for you guys that are trying to do the bias sheets and look at bias and stuff. Because I've been doing this so long, I get lazy. I do a lot of this in my mind, but sometimes going back to the basics just makes it clear as day. I'm just going to put this, draw a little arrow. 7 was the winner there. But this was not a playable race. Right now, we're just judging. I didn't think too much about the 7 closing at this time, or the 7 basically being in the 5 hole. You remember, we're kind of thinking the inside is the place to be most days. The second best position is post 4 through 6. We're fading. So I really didn't think that much of it because the 7 and the 6 were both such short horses. And bear with me because you'll see what I'm getting at as we go to the 4th race. That's the next sprint race of the day. All right, so I made the same thing. But it's down here. So I don't have to keep scrolling back and forth. Like I said, I'm just going to go through this, tell you how I rate the horses. So the 1 horse ran against the speed favoring track, earned an asterisk for that. He couldn't get the lead. 2 races ago, he ran on a bad rail, early pressing day. He got an asterisk for running against the bias. He was in the 3 hole that day. I actually had him straddling the line between a speed horse and a stalker. Overall, his speed figures look really low, but I got 2 what I think is legit excuses for him last 2 races. We'll just go to the 2. The 2 horse I got as a closer. We see him here. He's 7 by 4 lengths out, 4 3/4. He's 6 by 8 lengths out. He's 3 by 2. At a route, he's 4 by 2. 5 furlongs, he's 12 by 14. I actually put him kind of straddling the line between a stalker and a closer, but I fared more to the closer way. He has ran against the bias 3 races ago, but we're trying to fade closers. Remember what we're trying to fade. He is on the inside. We did see a closer win the first race, but man, those were 2 chalky horses. That's any one race does not make us switch our what we're looking for, especially when it was chalk. This 3 horse, obviously, we go back to these 2 6 furlong sprints. We look at the first 2 calls. This horse is on the lead both times. I got him as a speedy horse. The other thing I noticed right away is everyone else is basically a $10,000 claimer. He's dropping from maiden special weight to maiden claiming $32,000. Yeah, he pretty much looks like a real serious horse right off of the drop. He was a chalk. I guess the only negative on him is the January layoff. But, I don't know. I wasn't into this race either. The 4 horse. It was early pressing day last race. He ran with that. He only has one race where he ran against a speed favoring track. For the most part, I got him straddling the line between the speed and the stalker. I should start with that. We're trying to label these horses. So I got him straddling between a speed and a stalker horse. The 5, when I get first-time starters, I just usually put them off to the side and put a question mark because we don't know. The 6 horse, I ended up putting the 6 horse as a speed horse. I see he has 2 races. Last race I couldn't rate. 2 races ago, inside the track was good. He's making a really big drop. Kind of like the 3. 7 horse, he's route speed. I actually go down to these races where he's running the distance. To me, he looks like he definitely looks like a stalker. He looks kind of like a stalker to a closer. I actually got him straddling that line, but I'm favoring the stalker side. The 8 horse, I put the 8 as a stalker. This horse has never officially had the lead, even though he came out 2 by 1 one race. So I got him as a stalker. The 9 horse, I want you guys to just get in practice of labeling the horses the same way I do. If you're going to use the bias sheets, you should use the definitions and label the horses because I think you'll get the best use out of them. Never had the lead, always double digits, 5 lengths behind, 6 lengths behind, 5 lengths behind, double digits, double digits, double digits. Safe to say this horse is going to be a closer. And the 10 horse was in the race. We got him as a stalker. There's a race where he tried to be a closer. There's some races where he's a very deep, at the end of my definition for being a stalker, 6x4, 7x4, 4x4, or 5x4, 6x4, deep stalker. I actually got him right on the line there. So this is how my race pace shifts out. Remember, wired here, stalk there, close here. We're fading closers pretty much automatically. We're trying to fade the outside of the track. Let me do this. We're trying to fade the outside of the track. We're trying to fade the closers. These horses are borderline, are asking to be almost faded, right? We're kind of concentrating here. Remember this race, the 3 horse was a big favorite, taking a big class drop with some big excuses. Actually, no, I didn't look up his excuses. He just had the giant class drop with speed. I didn't play this race either. He was 130 on $1. The 6 was 8 to 1. I don't remember what I didn't like about the 6. Oh, I know what I liked. This race right here on the turf, the inside of the track was good. Speed is always good. On the turf for the most part. I know he's dropping huge. I didn't care for him that race all that much. I didn't want to go against that 3 horse all that much. I just chose out to sit this race. So the 3 went wired on the inside. Let me get this back to red just to... There's our winner again. The 3 horse went wire. It actually came in 3-9. And it came in 3-9-1. The 3 helped me think the inside of the track, but then I was kind of thinking, he was a big favorite. I don't know. The 1 horse was 62 to 1, and he got 3rd. And when I first seen that, I was kind of leaning towards, oh, it might have been the inside of the track. But then I kept looking at it. This 9 horse ran 2nd at 16 to 1. So I didn't really kind of know what to make of that. The one horse was always there. He was always in third by about 1 or 2 lengths off the track, off the pace the whole time. I thought that was a really good race. In fact, there was a time that I thought it was going to be a 3-1 exact, and I was kind of kicking myself for not betting the race, the inside, focusing on these horses. But when the 9 snapped that, he came out of nowhere. So actually today we had 2 horses on the outside that made up a lot of ground, but nothing in my head is really clicking yet. This 3 was a big favorite. Everything looks all right. I'm kind of, where I'm supposed to be focusing. Winner, second place. That first race, post 4 through 6 are winning 34% of the races. He did close, but I had him as a stalker. He was a big favorite. It's kind of like nothing's really clicking. Right now, it's just been chalky. I've been kind of, sitting out everywhere. In fact, I started the day really hot I hit the first 3 races at Keeneland. And Gulfstream, I think after the first 4 races, there was not a horse that paid over $5. And I kind of stuck with playing Keeneland. Because Keeneland was just great yesterday. It started out with a 7-1, a 5-1, and then a 5-2. And then I kind of went, my handicapping kind of went shitty after that. So this next race, I actually did not get to handicap. The 5th race. And I wish I could have. It's really hard to handicap in hindsight. But what happened to that race set the tone of the thinking and everything for the rest of the day. So we got another 5 furlongs. The 4th, I think it was this race was taken off the turf. It was 5 furlongs. So this is on the dirt. All we're concentrating is on the dirt sprints today. This one horse, well, let me just start. Let's label these horses first. We're looking at pretty much the first 2 calls. Overall, this horse looks like he's an early speed stalking type of horse. I see that he has 2 asterisks in the last 2 races. Last race he ran against a bad rail. 2 races ago he ran on a speed favoring track, couldn't quite get the lead. 3 races ago he ran on a stalker track. I really think he's really wants the lead, but I put him basically straddling the line between speed and stalkers. Let's just go through and label the horses first. The 4 horse. 4 horse just looks like speed. I'm putting the horses, okay, so there's a lot of scratches today. So I'm putting the horses in post position. So basically, the 2's going to be in the first row. Because there's no 1 or 3, the 4's going to be in the first row. We're just moving everyone over. Post position is what matters to me. 4 definitely looks like a speed horse, right? Can't rate his last race. 2 races ago, rail was bad. He wasn't on the rail. 3 races ago, I really got no comment. But he's definitely a speed horse. So he gets labeled there. The 5 horse, because of the 2 scratches, is going to go in the first column with post 1 through 3. I got him by 11 lengths off here. This was a tricky race. I noticed that this was the only race that wasn't a route race where he got the lead, but I seen that it was an inside speed favoring track. To me, he got the lead because it was a speed favoring track and it probably carried him. For the most part, 11 by 11, 9 by 5, 2 by 2, 7 by 4, 4 by 3, 7 by 3, 8 by 5. I got him straddling the line between stalkers and closers in the 3 hole. This 8 horse, Definitely looks like an early speed horse last few races. I do notice that he stalked a few. I got him straddling the line between speed and stalker here. Last race, to me, he ran with the bias, so I don't give him an asterisk. It was an early pressing day. He had early speed. He fell out of it. 2 races ago, the rail was bad. He was in the 6 hole. He just didn't run. 3 races ago, the inside of the track was good. He ran his best number in a while being an early, by having an inside good track with an early P. I got him as straddling speed and stalkers in the 4 hole. Yeah, he's in the 4 hole. The 9 horse. I also have him. Well, actually, I got him as a stalker. He did try to go wire to wire here on the turf, but then again, he's 5x1, he's 3x1, he's 5x3, he's 4x1. He tried to go wire to wire there. He tried to go wire to wire there. I seen him on the route where he was 5x2, and there I could have put him straddling the line, and I wouldn't argue one way or another how you do it. But to me, I thought he was a stalker. So he's in the 5 hole as a stalker. The 10, I got him straddling the line between the stalker and the closer. The 10. The 11 horse, he's pretty easy. I got as a speed horse. And the 14, let's see, he's going to be in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 14 is actually going to be in the 8 hole. I also have him as a speed and stalker. Where did I put my little graph at in this race? There it is. So that's how I got it. Remember, right now, just basic handicapping, what we're looking for. We're trying to fade the outside of the track. We're trying to get rid of the closers, right? Right now, we're not thinking anything about the track. Right now, to me, this race is the race that I said was the special race. I didn't even make a bet in here. I didn't even get to handicap this race in real time. I did this race after. Like I said, I was looking at Keeland at the time, and I actually was cashing double at the time. So I was involved in watching that race get finished. But when I flipped over, the horse that won this race is the 8 horse at 31-1. According to marks and everything, I couldn't have got to him to marks, and I don't think I could have got to him. I kind of agreed with the public this race. They had this I agreed with the betting. Like I said, I didn't handicap this race before the break. This is a race that made me change my mindset on how the track was playing today or yesterday. This 2 horse was stuck on the rail, right? He was stuck on the rail. He was 40 cents on the dollar, and all he could do was muster third. The first thing that caught my eye is the 8-1. The 8 was about 4 or 5 wide, and the 8 was 31-1. So that's why I hurried up, rushed back, handicapped this race. When I seen the 2, and I was like, damn, the 2 looks pretty legit. I started really thinking about how the track was playing. The 8 did stalk. The 8 fell under the stalk. He came from about, I think, 3 lengths off the lead. The 4, who was in the 2 hole, did get second. And remember, the 8's in the 4 hole. This was the race that made me think that the inside of the track was bad. I seen this 2-horse at 40 cents on the dollar basically struggled to get third. Had the lead, fell apart. And I was starting to think that maybe the rail was bad. The 4 was about 3-4 wide. And they were dueling. But I think he was catchable. Remember, the 2's coming off with 2 excuses. I think technically he got his third race. But then what I do, I look at the horse that won the long shot. Early pressing, he ran a terrible speed figure. Nothing explains this horse coming back to this race other than thinking, man, I kind of think the outside of the track might be the place to be. Remember the first race, it came in 7-6. Yeah, they were both chalks, but they were both well off the rail. The second dirt sprint today, remember how I said, man, the 3-horse won, he was a super short price, probably could have won against everything. The 1-horse at 62-1 still got third, but I kept thinking about that 9-horse at 18-1 coming off the pace and coming wide. And this is what makes the tic-tac board kind of makes sense to me. We'll see as the day finished out how it looks when we look at all of them. So anyways, the next race, the 6th race is when we start thinking, Parsons and I started thinking about the track. And we're labeling these horses. We got this 1 horse. Insider track was good last race, running against 2 early pressing days. Nothing looks bad there, but right now you might be thinking, like we were, that the inside of the track might not be the best place to be, right? We do have this horse straddling the line between speed and stalker. The 3-horse, or the 2-horse, I'm sorry. The 2-horse, I also have this horse. Part of it was because of these class drops. I think I was very kind to him. I got some 7 furlong races where he's on the lead. I got some races where he's 4 lengths off the lead. I was really kind to him, and I put him as a speed and stalker, mainly because I thought maybe the class drop might make him a little bit closer. Remember, but I'm not thinking that much about the inside of the track right now at this time. But I'm labeling him, and so that I got him straddling the line. The 3-horse, I got this 3-horse as a stalker. Last race, he tried to close from 6 lengths out. I do got that he ran against the bias that day. But the race before, he went wire to wire. The race before that, he stalked. The race before that, he stalked. There's a race he tried to go wire to wire. He stalked. Then he tried to close. He tried to close. He tried to stalk. He tried to close. I just split the difference and called him a closer, or I'm sorry, a stalker in the 3-hole. The 4 was a really easy call to me. I have him as a deep closer. I'm sorry, a deep stalker. Remember, this is 6 furlongs. I got him 5x2 there. There was still 4 horses in front of him, and he was 5x2 3/4. Here he's 4x5 at 6 furlongs. All of these races where he looks like he wants the lead and was on the lead, they were all mile races. I put him as a stalker, and I had him closer to being a closer than a stalker. I don't have him straddling the line, but I got him moving towards the line, being, you know, on the slower side of stalking. The 5-horse, real easy call. I got him as a closer. 6x5, 7x5, 7x2, 5x2, 7x8, 7x7s, 4x4. He looks like a closer to me. I got him steady in the closer. And then we got the 6. 6, tried to go to the lead there. 2 races back, bad rail, asterisk. Probably was trying to go to that lead where the rail was bad, right? 3 races ago, outside of the track was good. Stalking closing day, asterisk. For trying to go wire to wire, definitely wire to wire, trying to go wire to wire, you know, speed, speed, speed on top of speed. He's the only horse that is definitely a speed horse. And this is how I kind of had the race labeled up. Kind of almost eliminates themselves. You know, even the full horse being on the closer thing, I kind of thought that was all you had to look at. Now it's time to bet. We got excuses, asterisks on the 6, asterisks on the 3, asterisks on the 2, and nothing on the 1. We got a horse that might be lone speed in the 6, and we're kind of thinking the inside of the track might be bad. If we're thinking if you were also thinking the inside of the track was bad, easy winner. Those look like two really droopy triangular boobs. Easy winner, wire to wire, 15-1. On a horse with 2 asterisks, to me, stand out. The 2 got second, and the 3rd got, and the 1 got 3rd there. Wait a minute, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong results there. The 6 won the race. 6 won the race. 4 got second. 5 got 3rd. All outside. But we didn't need that. You know, 6 to win at 15-1. And right there, actually, to me, doing this little, I don't like all this extra shitty writing. To me, doing all of this might be a big help to people that are trying to do the basics. Sometimes you get conceited when you do too much every day, and you don't want to go, you don't want to do the basic shit because it adds an extra step. I might start doing this on the show actually a little bit more when we do the live stream. And then there was one more race. If we want to do one more race, this is the last sprint of the day. Remember, we're just looking at sprints on the dirt, Gulfstream Park yesterday. Let's just do this one more because I think it's going to kind of sum up everything. Let me get my notes. So anyways, this one horse, we got a nice asterisk middle of the track. He was in the inside. But overall, look at his running. He looks like a stalker, maybe even a closer. 7x8, 7x8, 5x2, 5x1 3/4, 6x7, 5x4. I got him on the straddling the line between stalker and closer. Okay? This 2 horse, I got this 2 horse as a speed horse. And this is a race, okay, as good as the last race was, I fell in love. I'll tell you what I did this race, and it was stupid, but it also proves I should have kept thinking a certain way. So this horse, let's just do it easy. Stalking closing day last race, asterisk. He still had the lead. Overall, this horse gets the lead almost every race. I was really impressed with this race. I thought he was a flat-out front speed burner. And when we look at the rest of the horses, he's even going to look like a bigger front speed burner. So we got the 1 straddling the line, the 2 horse being the front runner. We got the 3 horse. Very easy to tell for the most part. 3 looks like a dead nuts closer more often than not. Almost eliminating himself according to the profile. This is what we got going. See, we put posts 1 through 3 here, 4 through 6 there, 7 on out there. our speed horses, our stalkers, our closers. Uh, so we get to the 4-horse. 4-horse is a little bit tricky because his last 2 races, he looked like he was going to the lead. I always try to err towards what do they do more often than not. I felt more comfortable thinking this horse would be a solid stalker. I kind of, you want to throw out, okay, so we're doing a sprint, right? When you guys are labeling, you guys are going to want to kind of get in the habit of like, you don't want to use turf routes as an indicator, really. You don't want to use those 2 races. Not that, and they don't change what I think of them. You know, you want to kind of keep it, you know, to what he's doing today. And it's pretty easy to tell, maybe on his best day speed, but overall, I thought he was a stalker. It's a little impressive. 2 races ago, I thought he ran against the bias and still won. I thought the rail was bad and he won and he improved his next time out. But some horses just tend to run, you know, can beat that. Anyways, let's just keep going. The 5-horse, he did try to go to the lead last race. I gave him an asterisk because I thought it was middle of the track. He was in the 2-hole. This horse actually earned 3 asterisks in a row. So when I see an asterisk, like early presser, and all of a sudden he's a closer, I might not trust a race like this. It's just a skill that you're going to develop over time. The route race, I mean, he was a closer there, but I don't know. I'm not really going to hold that against him. He only did it once. I try to look at comments sometimes when I'm doing this. 14 lengths off the lead, 13 lengths off the lead, 5x1. You know what? I probably, right now, I'm kind of disagreeing how I labeled him yesterday. I'll tell you what right now, I'm thinking I should have had him labeled as a closer, to be honest. I guess because last race he was on the lead, and here he was 5x1 battling on the lead at the second call, and right here he was on the lead. I actually labeled him a stalker and a middle, you know, not straddling any line, just a stalker. The 6-horse, he doesn't have any odd race. He ran against 2 biases, but when we, you know, he's 6x3, 3x2, but those look like all his other starts, 4x4, 5x2, 3x1. There's a route race. We don't really need to consider that one. 4x5, 5x4, 4x2, 4x4. He's a fucking stalker. And this last race, he did not run against the bias those 2 races. He was on the outside when the outside was good. Just labeling him 3x1, 5x3, 5x2, 3x2, 3x1, 4x3. You get the picture. He's a freaking stalker. Pretty easy call on him. I'll tell you what I actually did this race. So last race, thinking the outside of the track was good, got you the winner. Making that adjustment, concentrating on the graph, did everything. Almost just Xing out our crap. Should have got you there. This is honestly what I did, and really it should have got you here. And when you say maybe the outside of the track, maybe at this time of the day, guys, maybe that line shouldn't have been there. He is a stalker. And if you think the outside of the track, okay, he is a stalker. I started adjusting, so maybe that line shouldn't have been there. This is honestly what I did. I fell in love with this too. Oh, that didn't work out. I fell in love with the 2 because I thought he was low in speed. You guys don't have the extra marks, but I did. Not only was this a stalking closing day, this was a 2-heart day. You guys know that's my best mark. I decided to play the 2 there. I also decided that I loved the 5. 5 was the horse that I just said in hindsight, 9 by 9, 11 by 13, 7 by 14. There was just as good 2 battling on the lead, 3 battling on the lead, 5 by 1. There's just as good a chance that this horse could have went maybe to the lead, and there's just as good of a chance that this horse could have been 10 lengths off the lead, right? This horse is what gives handicappers problems. Yesterday, I thought he was a solid stalker. Today, doing this with you guys, I'm almost making the argument that he should have been here, eliminating himself. Anyways, what I ended up doing, I really wanted to bet the 2-5. It's such a bad bet, especially after that 6 just won. But I just want to be honest. The 2 was bet down to 3-1, and I thought that was stealing, and I could not get away from it. The 5 was 11-1, 12-1, I think. 11-1 on the chart. I got the chart right here. I ended up betting a 2-5. I think I bet a 2-5-7, a 2-5-4 in a box. And I think I even did a 2-5-3 in a box. Trying to hit 3 different exacta boxes where they were all $5 each, where if I was right about the 2-5. But all honesty, I should have stuck with my first call that the outside of the track was bad. I misjudged this 5 horse, and I don't know if I should be that hard on myself. Maybe he should have at least been there. You know, sometimes when you're putting these horses in their categories, you're just going to make bad calls. But this bet right here, I just wanted to tell you what it came. It wasn't anything special. The 7 ended up going wire to wire. Well, actually, technically, he didn't go wire to wire. The 2 got the lead at the first call. He had the rail, had nothing on the rail, died badly. The 7 was the next closest horse to him. And then the 6 basically followed him. I don't know why I'm marking that. But actually, it came in 7-6. The outs, you know. But guys, I really think as races go on, and if you guys want to try doing this little simple technique, and I think it's good, and I think I'm going to start trying to do it on the show, at least some races, instead of trying to do so much shit in my head, because I think it, I don't know, I thought it was kind of a cool thing for a video and helping you use the bias reports and making an adjustment, because remember, we went into the day thinking, I think we went into the day thinking that post 1 through 3 at sprints were winning 47% of the time. As we go through the 5 races that ran today, we had a horse that basically came from 1 length off the lead stalking. Yeah, it was 2-1. We had a 15-1 that won from the 6 hole going wire to wire. Speed and stalkers. Remember, we're looking for speed and stalkers, fading all closers. 15-1 that was easy to get to. And 8-1, I'm sorry, the 8 horse won this race. The 8 makes sense I could not have got to him. Impossible for me to get to him at that time. When you start thinking that there was an outside bias, he makes a bit of sense. He really does. Without that, he's hard to get to, I will admit. We had this 3-horse go wire to wire, but remember, he was a big class dropper. That was the only horse that won on the inside. And the first race, we had a 15-1. We had a 30-1 on the. We didn't have the 30-1, but I'm saying we, as in that they ran a 30-1 on the outside, a 15-1 on the outside. They beat 2 horses that were bet down to roughly 40% on the dollar, or 40 cents on the dollar. In 2 different races, they bet them while they had the rail. To me, that would have been a good adjustment. Right now, I'm labeling this day as an outside speed and stalker day. Hopefully with this technique, it helps and makes handicapping a little bit easier. And if you're new to handicapping, I honestly believe the first thing you want to learn before you learn anything, how to label your damn horses. To me, this should be the most basic skill you should have. If the tic-tac-toe board helps you, fucking let me know. I think it's a very simple way to do it. Doesn't take a lot of time when you're brand new to the game. Fuck, you got 20 minutes between races. Spend your time learning this. Don't worry about betting at this time. And then the next step, you can go on to the next step there. But you should get good. And the only way you can judge yourself is doing a lot of races and just seeing if you're close. You want to make sure your speed horses are getting the lead, your closers are closing, and your stalkers are stalking. When you feel like you're doing that right most of the time, you're doing good and you can move on to the next step. And this also goes into not just using the bias report. It also goes into if you want to develop as a pace handicapper, which I think I do a lot of kind of pace handicapping, but you know, it goes into pace handicapping, visually kind of seeing the races in your head, picking out your different scenarios. But learning how to label the horses will go a long way in helping you get started. But anyways, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Hope you guys enjoy this. If you guys have any ideas with video topics you guys want me to help with, or things that shoot me an email. If you guys are interested in the bias reports, I always forget to do this. Shoot me an email. Let me see if it goes up. Well, it's kind of hard to see with my red writing, but it's handicappingpaul@outlook.com. Feel free to contact me. Feel free if you guys got some video ideas that you want, maybe some subjects, if I can help you with it, I'll try to do videos on it. But anyways, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Stay safe out there and good luck.